Hello, I'm Chai Hofilenya. Welcome to Talk Thursday. On June 20, President Benigno Aquino signed the proclamation naming this year's batch of national artists. Many were surprised after veteran actress Nora Aunor was dropped from the list. Among those dismayed was national artist for literature Bienvenido Lumbera. He joins us today to talk about the controversy and the National Artist Awards. Thank you and good afternoon. Thank you for joining us. I'd like to begin with maybe the process, because I think not many people understand how the national artists are chosen.
Yes. The NCCA organizes the start of the process, no? Brings together artists, well, people known to NCCA officials.
Yes.
And among them, they name candidates for national artists. So these are people who come from different fields. Of those names, one or two will be chosen to send up to another committee.
The next level.
Yes, the next level. And on this level, the artists who are participating are artists in the same field as the candidate being talked about. So itong second level na ito deliberates on the qualities of the artists and decide to send up the one chosen or the ones chosen to the third level. It is on the third level that a decision as to the names that will be sent to Malacanang will be made.
Am I correct? Is it at the third level that, so this is basically the NCCA and the CCP?
Yes,
That
NCCA officials, CCP officials, and then some national artists.
And how many are shortlisted before it's sent to Malacanang?
No, walang ganon yung shortlist. On the third level, the names that will be sent to Malacanang are final. So there is a poll taken of those present at the meeting and yung mga pangalang mapipili, yun ang ipadadala sa Malacanang.
So in the end, yung presidente po ang pumipili based on the recommendations given by CCP at saka NCCA.
Ang understanding ko the function of the president is ministerial. Ibig sabihin, kung ano yung inirecommend, it is understood that the president will respect the choices.
Yes, considering that sinala na siya ng experts
Yes.
in the fields. But apparently this has not been happening.
That's true. Yes.
How do you explain this? Why? Bakit hindi lang ministerial?
Well, in the past, certain artists were in the good graces of the president. For instance, Carlos Quirino, who is not really a literature person, was chosen to represent what was then called historical literature. So that was Ramos, I think. Then in the succeeding presidencies, this was during the time of ERAP, a musician, what's her name now, was in the good graces of ERAP, was named National Artist for Music. And then, sumunod kay Gloria na, itong Muslim artist, can't recall his name now.
Okay.
All right. Abdul Mari Ibao was put in by Gloria. So under Gloria Arroyo, one of those names was Alejandro Roses for literature. And I think that was when Abdul Mari Imao was named artist for literature, or rather for visual arts.
Okay.
Then, second Gloria term, there were names that were submitted to Malacanang. Ramon Santos was dropped from the list, but Arroyo brought in Caparas,
Oh yes, I remember that. Yes.
Guidote, and one architect. Anyway, apat yung ipinasok ni Gloria. And that was when the national artists grouped together in order to denounce the presidential intervention in choosing the national artist.
So it's become a very political process.
Yes, yes.
How do you isolate it? Because art can be very political, it can also be very subjective.
Well, dito sa atin, kung sino yung malapit sa mesa, yun ang nakakakain ng masasarap na pagkain. Those who have no access to that table, they remain in the periphery. So, the politics of friendship and service, I think Caparas had done some work for Gloria Arroyo. He was in the favor of the president then.
Do you, is there a need to revisit the rules? Because as presently structured, recommendatory lang yung powers of the NCCA and NCCP. And then ultimately it's the president who decides.
Yes. I don't know what to do about it because the president's signature is essential for the emoluments to come to those who are named artists. Meron niyang amount na initial amount that's given to the artist, and then there's a monthly pension, and then burial in the what you call this, libingan ng mga bayani.
Yes.
And also medical treatment up to 300 or 700,000.
Are these amounts enough? Kasi apparently kung buhay ka pa, you get 200,000, and if it's a posthumous award, 150,000, am I correct? Tapos burial expenses of up to 500,000 pesos. Are these enough?
Well, I think the burial expenses, libingan ng mga bayani, includes cost of interment and honors and so on and so on. Yun ang pagkaintindi ko. Ako, as a national artist, I have not thought about it because I have a lot in the line of Filipino.
But going back to the beginnings of this award, it was initiated by the Marcoses. Is that correct?
Yes, yes.
How did it all begin? Was it Imelda?
Yeah, I think as far as I can recall, it was Imelda who initiated this project after her visit to the Soviet Union at the time. The Soviet Union, of course, has this tradition of naming specific artists as national heroes. So this was what Imelda gathered and introduced into the Philippines. So yung of course, Imelda had her coterie of cultural leaders. Sila yung nagpapasok ng mga pangalan. No? So, si Jose Garcia Villa and Amado Hernandez were a pair of literature awardees during the first, I think, first year of Imelda's project. And si Garcia Villa was, of course, someone that the middle class recognizes, and they think of him as a great literary man. Then Amado Hernandez was brought in, I think, to counter whatever criticism about the art for art's sake ni Jose Garcia Villa. And si Amado Hernandez was the activist artist.
Social commentary.
Yes. So yun ang, ganun ang politics nung sa panahon ni Imelda. Also, another case is si Hernando Ocampo was already a very important painter in his time. But he was not in the favor of Imelda. I think when he drew this painting that serves as curtain of the CCP, he said something to the effect na how much it cost to put that painting as the curtain of CCP. And Imelda was allegedly was peeved na she thought Hernando Ocampo wanted to get money for his contribution to the CCP. So he never got named national artist. So ganun yung laro ng sa national artist noon under Imelda. Now, when Cory assumed the presidency, the CCP, I suppose, was obligated to continue the National Artist Award started by Imelda.
Yeah.
However, the CCP under Nick Johnson's artistic directorship wanted to formalize the process of choosing the national artist and setting up criteria and the entire concept of national artist. So a committee was organized to advise and critique the process and the criteria set by CCP. And then finally Congress was brought into the process. So kailangan there's a law that has to be drawn up
Enabling law.
Yes,
Yeah.
to validate the CCP NCCA CCP concept of national artists. Ganun yun.
Let's jump to the latest awards. Nora Aunor was expected because people heard that she was part of the list, but she was excluded. And I think you voted for her, or
Yes, yes.
want her to be declared a national artist. What did you feel about this?
Well, I felt that Malacanang would have to explain why Nora Aunor was dropped from the list. Why explain? Because Nora Aunor was not an artist known only to a few people. Nora Aunor had a national following early on. And for her to be dropped from the list of national artists, this is for Malacanang to go against the sentiment of artists who chose Nora and the fans that Nora had developed in the course of her career as an actress. So yun ang...
In effect, parang ang ginawa ng Malacanang is binaliwala niya yung process and the input of experts and artists. Meron bang movement from among artists to compel or to pressure Malacanang to come out with an explanation and to prevent a repetition?
No, wala akong narinig na move on the part of national artists to question the dropping of Nora from the list. But I have been interviewed by cell phone what I thought of the impact of the dropping of Nora, and I expressed my sentiment. I said, well, there should be an explanation on the part of the office of the president. Now, but it has been, the matter has been brought up na the president does not have to explain his act in relation to the list submitted by the NCCA and the CCP.
There has, go ahead.
Of course, he does not have to explain, but this is a case where it's not only a small group of artists who need the explanation, but a rather sizable constituency supporting Nora. And the explanation should make clear what are the motives of Malacanang and the people who advised the president against instituting Nora as a national artist.
What we've heard is that because in the past she had a run-in with the law because of drug use. Could that have been a factor? Is that what you heard as well?
Yes, yes, I heard about that, and I also sa Facebook someone mentioned she lived with a lesbian. Married pa yata sila.
But who cares?
Oo, kaya nga. So, ganun ang speculation, maraming speculations. And then, there is also the speculation that Nora was in the good graces of Gloria Macapagal-Arroyo. Merong pinagawa sa kanya.
So because of the association with the previous administration, may ganung factor?
That seems to be one factor. Alam mo na, hindi mo naman, what they talk about is this cultural committee in Malacanang that advises the president on cultural matters. Hindi malinaw kung ano yung mga dahilan na hinanap ng mga cultural advisors ng presidente.
At sino-sino itong mga to?
Oo. One name mentioned was si Manolo Quezon.
But is it fair to judge an artist on the basis of morality? Or
No, yun
yung
nga
life,
akin.
yung buhay niya?
Yeah. Yun nga akin sinasabi na if morality becomes a criterion, then mahirap nang pumili ng artist will be honored. So what will happen is the likelihood is a mediocre artist or a less than superior artist will be chosen because he has lived a very conventional life and has even contributed to the national image of good behavior and so on and so on. So the morality issue opens the way for the entry of mediocre artists in the ranks of the national artists.
But I think one criterion in the list that I saw, which opens it up to that discussion, is yung acceptability to peers. That's where siguro yung arguments about morality and acceptance will come in. Do you think that should be erased, that should be deleted, reviewed, all these criteria?
I don't even remember that was a consideration in the list of criteria drawn up by Nicanor Johnson's office. And I was in on the finalizing of the bill that would be submitted to Congress. And I don't recall at any point na merong ganong consideration about morality and good citizenship and so on.
So what are your plans? In the past, I think merong moves to elevate issues to the Supreme Court. Is there anything similar, or wala bang organization among artists?
Well, I'm in the Concerned Artists of the Philippines, and we have issued a statement on the matter, calling Noy Noy arrogant and elitist and so on. Pero wala pang organized move on the part of national artists to protest Malacanang's decision.
Why is that? Is it because hati rin yung community of artists? Are there factions?
No, kailangan lamang merong manguna mag-initiate ng move. It could be, the move could be initiated by NCCA or by CCP. Although Emily Abrera has already sided with the president, that the president does not have to explain his decision. And Emily Abrera is in the board of CCP. So I don't know what CCP participation in such a move will be, given the fact that Abrera, who is head of the CCP board, kung ano yung magiging impact ng kanyang decision na gano'n.
I'd like to step back a bit. Paano ba yung treatment ng national artists? Is government investing enough in art? Are we doing enough to preserve our heritage? Pinapahalagahan ba yung artists?
I don't think Noy Noy I don't think Noy Noy has thought about it.
It's not a priority.
Wala siyang concept of cultural heritage. Ano man.
What should be done? What is it? Paano ba pinapakita yon? How is it manifested na an administration or a government gives importance to heritage and the art?
Well, mainly funding of cultural institutions like NCCA and CCP. Actually, CCP needs a lot of financial help because CCP has many resident companies, and the resident companies, they put on a show and it costs money, and kulang at kulang yung kanilang pera. So the CCP has been reduced to depending on rental coming from those who use the CCP grounds, the premises, like Aliw Theater, and the financial help ang kailangan ng cultural institutions. Now, the NCCA, kailangan din nila ang pera dahil marami silang mga projects na involving promoting the arts, promoting cultural heritage, rebuilding, etc. So maraming gastos ang culture. And given the minds of those who are in the Malacanang office, parang hindi nila gaanong pinag-iisipan yung pangangailangan ng sining at kultura.
Pero ang common na paniniwala is that kapag ka ikaw ay isang developing country and you have limited resources, art cannot become a priority. Development projects will have to be the priority.
That was Cory's position when she took over.
Yes.
Culture is not a priority. And that has been, I think, mouthed by succeeding officials, seeing that wala naman talagang active government involvement in cultural matters. As a matter of fact, in the annual State of the Presidency, the annual ZONA,
State of the Nation address.
there's walang banggit tungkol sa culture. Mainly the economy and yung pa nga sa economy talagang ang kanilang pinagtutunan ng pansin lagi ay yung the number of foreign investments, the amount of foreign investments coming into the Philippines. But yung peasants, walang natatanaw na concern for them at all. And saan ba nanggagaling yung maraming OFW natin? But precisely from the ranks of the peasants and their families. Ang mga OFW natin, ano yung kanilang matatanaw sa pamahalaan? Lagi silang sinasabing bayani ng ating panahon. Pero anong benepisyo ang kanila nakuha? Ang perang ipinapadala ng mga OFW ay siyang sumusuporta sa ekonomiya ng Pilipinas. Pero wala silang direct benefit na nakukuha sa gobyerno.
Siguro just a last point, just to summarize the discussion. Not a lot of people are aware of the national awards or the importance of the awards, lalo na dun sa mga kabataan. Could you address them and maybe explain to them why they should care about the awards?
Yes, I have written lectures and I have attended symposia about this matter. And I think young people should realize na yung mga elders nila went through a colonial education. And therefore, ako, bahagi nung colonially educated Filipinos. Walang gaanong maitutulong ang mga older generations sa kanila. It's they who have to think for themselves. Ano ang hinaharap ng Pilipinas? Anong patakaran ng pamahalaan ang kanilang maaasahan sa pamahalaan sa larangan ng kultura. Ang kultura napaka-importante in our time kasi malaganap talaga yung propaganda ng globalisasyon na no barriers, no borders. Wala nang nagtuturo ng pangangalaga sa kultura ng mga Pilipino, nagtuturo sa ikabubuti ng kabataan sa hinaharap. Wala na yung ganon. No? Ang hindi natin masisisi yung colonial educated generation. Kasi nang ipapataw ng Estados Unidos ang educational system, nandun na yung English at ang mga kaisipan, mga damdamin ng mga estudyante ay hinubog ayon sa kaisipan at mga damdamin ng mga Amerikano. Pagka magdo-draw up ng mga policies yung mga leaders of the nation, ang kanilang pagkaintindi sa education ay tulad ng edukasyon kanilang pinagdaanan. Pag sinabi mong kailangan ang wikang panturo ay gawin ng Filipino, hindi nila matanggap yun dahil they were able to connect with the world through English. So what about kung magdodraw up sila ng educational policy, kailangan na paulit-ulit bumabalik sila sa mga prinsipyo ng colonial education nila. So it's the young people who have to develop a new understanding of their position as the Filipinos of the future and how the country is going to develop according to their understanding of Filipino culture and art.
Thank you very much. That's okay. You're reminding us that we should not forget the Filipino soul.
Yes.
Even as we look ahead and go global. So thank you very much for speaking with us. We've been talking to National Artist for Literature, Bien Lumbera, about the controversial exclusion of actress Nora Aunor from the ranks of national artists as well as the NCCA. I'm Chai Hofilenia. Thank you for joining us.